ready for action. Let's go.
And good morning. You're flying the very unfriendly skies of Tironan. Every other person wants you dead repeatedly. We're packing our Team 10 rockets here. And took out our obligatory base. And the ME-410 wanted to kill me, and now I'm going to return the favor. Oh, what a difference decent guns make. Alright, one down. Let's go get the other tack center. Might help if I put my mic boom down. What do you think? Okay, we got the other tack center. One thing about this map is it doesn't lack for cover. Alright, we're going to exit the area, and I see I've got somebody coming in. We're going to turn. We're going to get in the middle of this and try to get out of the way of the fellow that's decided to ride my tail to the point of doom. And we ran away from him, and other aircraft took care of him. That is the boom and zoom way, gentlemen. Ouch. Of course, I did get in the middle of a boom furball. I got nobody to blame but myself for that one. But I needed to get rid of the immediate threat, which we have done. Alright. Searching for the next target. We have 2G here. Hopefully he's... Ow. Yeah. Well, anytime you can kill 4 targets before you die, you're not doing too bad, right? Let's get back into it. Yes. We took a target and they immediately took it back. And I'm going really fast. And we need to get our bases back. And that did not help on either one. Wait for the cooldown, which thankfully on the M39s is very short. We need our fellow players to stop concentrating on the airbase and I know it's fun and all, but it is not helping us win. And capture another point or two. He is now missing the majority of his hit points. Let's take the rest of them here. Okay, we've got that base back. Let's get the flaps back up. Well, when all else fails, let's ram the other guy. All right. Luckily, it looks like we'll beat the squall line and we can get back to contributing. Now, all deaths are permanent. You do not get to regen anymore. And except for the cap count, we are at parity.
Way to go! Victory is close.
Okay. Yeah, I did light it up a little early. I want to get a little space between me and the opposing aircraft. Want to mangle him up on the initial run, which we've done. I know exactly what that XF5U on the other side can do.
You are the final hope. Hang in there.
You're out of hit points, and you're gone. Trying to take our bases away from us in a bid to win. I object. You know, there's a guy that shot me down earlier. Always nice to repay the favor, especially at the squall line.
We'll be waiting for you back home.
Now we have the 5X weekend, so I wanted to take good advantage of it, make sure that we that I got the excuse me here just a minute while I get rid of this frog in my throat. Okay, so we shot down 10 aircraft, assisted with 3, got destroyed twice, and captured 3 sectors, critical damage 11 times. And I think it gives you a little more information there. We shot down 4 fighters, 1 heavy fighter, 1 attack aircraft, and 4 air defense aircraft. Came in number 1 on my side. This you gotta love, and this is nice. All right, and Naito and the 329 that I shot down did a hell of a job for his side. Fun aircraft, get one. They you'll have to suffer through the gun upgrade as soon as you can get to the M39 cannon. Get that first before you get anything else when you get this one. I'm not that big a fond of the Teeny Tim rockets, and the reason I don't like it very much is you don't spend a whole lot of time doing ground attack with these. So when let's take a look at airspeed. 516, the speed of the aircraft is really something. When you put the Teeny Tim rockets on, you're at 503, which is not horrible, don't get me wrong. It's very quick. Very few aircraft are going to match that at this tier. But the 516 gives you a little bit more advantage in getting away from pursuing turn and burns. That to me is far more advantageous than being able to attack the occasional ground targets. If you're playing this aircraft correctly, you're always on the hunt for distant targets that you just get within range. You can light them up with your guns, given the fact that the M39s just deliver tremendous amounts of damage, and it's right here. You're doing 680 damage per second, and you're doing it at 2,600 feet. You can really make their lives hell. And they have a very hard time getting away from it. They're very flat shooting weapons. It is not the Vulcan M69, or M61 I should say, but it is a great weapon. And this plane used correctly will absolutely dominate the skies. Now I've got a replacement pilot in here, and he is not outfitted the way he should be. I won't do anything about it until I get another point, and then at that point I will get the Marksman 2, which will help quite a bit, and just do a readjustment there. Okay. The problem with bringing up this aircraft is this. You're going to start off with these, 1,770 feet, 312 damage per second, and that's horrible. You upgrade here, you get another 1,000 feet or so, well, another 50 feet really, then you're up to 390, and that's still not very good. But when you get up here, you get an effective weapons loadout, and as soon as you finish that, you want to then go to your engine and your airframe. Now you can make arguments for its ground attack capabilities. For one thing, you don't get them; they don't reload that quickly. Another thing is you will find yourself constantly hunting other heavy fighters, other fighters, and you're normally at fairly decent altitude, and if you're not, you come down to attack something and you're climbing back to altitude. So you don't have great amounts of opportunity to even use the Teeny Tim rockets. So it's one of those aircraft, it's kind of like the F2H Banshee. They come with rockets, yeah. Do you use them very often? Yeah, maybe on your first run. Is it worth doing? Probably not. Um, I still run this aircraft from time to time. I occasionally get off 2 runs with the Teeny Tim rockets. They do 4,500 damage, but they just aren't so they do 9,000 points of damage into your target, but you're not really doing all that much. And I don't find them all that useful for ground attack, given the long reload times and the fact that when you're done, you're at the bottom of a bowl where you don't want a fast, heavy aircraft at. So the first turn and burn that shows up will eat your lunch, and deservedly so, because you're in the wrong regime. That is not this fighter's role. There are some aircraft out there I very much am convinced should never put a bomb on it, despite the fact that their heavy fighters are multi-role. Another one is going to be, let's pull this up, tremendous amount of damage capable of doing it. The problem is, again, this is one heck of a quick aircraft. And it's almost too much. And Jeff, how can it be too much? Well, the rockets are useful. The bombs, as you begin to glide out, that bombing circle skids way out in front of you. If you're not prepared for it, it makes it very hard to bomb with. So it's a single strike, and then you're stuck with a 13-second turn time aircraft at the bottom of a bowl. The crippling thing about this is the altitude performance. 6,000 feet. But again, when you come to airspeed, you're 516 miles an hour. Now, this one is stuck with the, it's got 2 damning facts to it, which is one, very poor range. You're just shy of 2,000 feet with this. Maneuverability is not great, which you can live with, but with the poor altitude performance and the poor gun range, it makes it a much more difficult aircraft to fly compared to the XF5U. Well, Jeff, what's the difference? The range on the guns. 24 is a hell of a lot better than 1948 or whatever it is on the 1968 is for the XP72. So this is a dog of an aircraft until you get this. All right. So you want to get this in preference to everything else. This is lovely to get. Really suggest you get that number 2. I would recommend not even bothering with this. Until you get everything done. You want to pick them up and use them, have a good time. I would recommend, if you're going to do that, go with the 2,000-pound bombs. Come in at a shallow angle. Don't change the angle until you drop your weapons, or that bombing circle is going to shoot out way in front of you. You're going to miss your target. And this is not an aircraft that you want to be loitering around low level in a cap with. Okay, if you're doing that, you're misusing the aircraft. You're not going to have a happy experience with it. This is not what you want to do. All right, so what do you want to do with it? All right, you keep it up as near to its altitude cap as you can get. You want to come up on targets and the minute that, just prior to it turning red, go ahead and open up with your guns with the proper amount of lead. Hit that thing early, hit it often. Burst or 2, as you saw, will take down most fighters, most heavy fighters. And at that range, it's kind of hard to maneuver away from the weapon, almost to the point where it doesn't matter what they do. That's how you use the weapon. This is, all fighters are platforms are mounting weapons, all right? This one is very good at being a high-speed aircraft. I have no idea what its real, how the aircraft perform in real life, because it never got off the ground except for a couple of short hops. had severe vibration problems when it was being developed. And it was being developed. I will tell you, without a doubt, it was probably the toughest fighter ever built by the U.S. Air Force, or the U.S. Navy, I should say. They had to use a wrecking ball to destroy its fuselage. It was that tough. Which I find strange. I would love to have had an example put into the National Air and Space Museum. But there was nothing that was unworkable. It's just the fighters were transitioning from propellers to jets. That's why it wasn't produced. Okay, so there we go. It's a great aircraft. Really recommend it, getting it and looking forward to it, and how to get the most joy out of it. Get your guns first, then get your other upgrades. And then if you wanted to use it as an occasional bomber, ground attack aircraft, then get your 1,000-pound bombs, line up on your target, keep the glide angle constant, drop your bombs, and be done with it. Okay? Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember to like and to subscribe. Thank you very much, and have a great day.